say, so, so for this guy, he bombed so hard. They played that song. You had a bad day. They played that for him. They played that whole sad ass song, and he was like a 60-year-old man, so that was just painful to see. So he gets off, and then the host gets his sheet of names, goes up, and he goes, all right, this next guy, very good friend of mine, Jay Bin Laden. He called me Bin Laden. My name is not Bin Laden, but he looked at my face, he's like, this would be great. And the people start getting excited. They, oh, Bin Laden, someone from the Bin Laden Empire is coming. I get up there, and I pull out the legal pad, and everyone is looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? And I start dying like a minute in. And it gets to the point where the host, so the host usually likes you. You guys are comics. The host did not like me. The security guard did. He took his big baton-ass flashlight and started a bat signal on my fucking face in front of 300 people. And I'm like, damn, this sucks. And I start to wrap it up. And as I put the mic in this end, the DJ plays the sad music from the Incredible Hulk when he's a hitchhiking down the highway. And I'm like, oh, I should take one of life immediately. And before I got on stage, I ordered a Coke from the bar. And I get to my, I drank the Coke before I got on stage. When I get to my table, the waitress comes up to me and gives me a bill for $14. $40. She goes, you'll get them next time, baby. She said that. And that was both reassuring and emasculating at the same time. And as that happens, the host grabs the mic and goes, Jay, 0 for 3. He's just fucking dunking on every comic who's existed. And then I walk back to my car, and then I did stand up the next day. So really, yeah. So don't give up, even though you probably suck. And we all do. I'm doing it right now. But that's not it. Anyway, but I had time for another story. I hope that was invigorating for some of you guys. But the comics who are out there, they'll fucking suffer forever. So you guys are fine. But is Liam here? Hey, fuck Liam Hart now. Here we go. Let's see how hard we can chant fuck Liam Hart if he comes in here. Can we do that? On the count of 1, 2, 3. Fuck Liam! Yes! Imagine it came in for that part. Oh, it was stage time. Bonus. Oh yeah, killing, but this is handy. All right. I'll do another story. I was on Facebook. I was scrolling through, and I see a link for a GoFundMe page. I click on it. It turns out one of my old childhood bullies, really big pictures of me, so chasing my house and call me racial slurs and shit. It's in school, and we got off the bus. It was real asshole. Turns out he had stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma. He has cancer, which that's not one of the funny ones. But he's got that old tumor. And I was feeling really bad. I don't even know this on GoFundMe. You can actually search people by their disease. You go to search bar Google and GoFundMe, you can get a whole list of people with that same condition, with stage 3 Hodgkin's. You get a whole bunch of people. What's cool about those people is that they did nothing to me. So how would I know where my money's going, you know? It's just there's a billion other people with cancer who are very nice. Also, it's stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma. I'm not going to light $200 on fire. Okay, why the fuck would I do that? I'm going to give it to a guy with stage 1. Okay, make the proper investment. All right. GoFundMe to me is Robin Hood for a dude with terminal illness. That's what that website is to me. It's I'm going to want to cheer for the guy at the end. And I started feeling kind of bad. This is a very complex feeling. Because when someone you love is dying, you feel awful, understandably. And when someone you don't care for is dying, you don't really give a shit. When someone you hate is dying, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to, I'm pretty sure it's the opposite of love. I'm not sure. It's a very weird feeling. You can't celebrate it outwardly, but it's kind of a win for you. I started feeling these feelings, and I tell my mom this because she's an oncologist. She goes, "Hey Jay, you should donate money to him. You feel so much better about yourself. Or the bygones be bygones. You'll let go of the past, and you'll feel like a better person. So much weight off your shoulders." I thought she was right, so that's what I did. I went to his page. I gave him $500 for this thing, and I felt really good. I told my mom this. She goes, "That was too much. What the fuck is wrong with you? Holy shit." Stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma, what are you gonna light $500 on fire? what's your problem? And she's like, get it back. And if you call GoFundMe, you can get the money back. I swear to God. You go, yeah, someone stole my car, trying to be a good person. I don't know what happened. It was fucked up. I saw it, like there's like a bar on GoFundMe that shows how much progress people have. It went from 300 to 800. Did that. So I'm going out. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much.
Nice. Stick up for Jay by Lonnie. That's so funny to see the bar move. That's like when you got like the Domino's pizza timer. And then you just go in the back and shoot the cook. And it just stops. Give it for Jay by Lonnie one more time. Hell yeah, we got a little steam going. I love you guys. We got a real treat. It's way too good of a time to be here, but he's here for y'all. Give it up for Andy Sanford.
I'm going to tell a story about the time I was brought up as Jay Bin Laden in Uptown. I do have a good Uptown story, but we have time for it. This story, you guys might not know this about me. For many years, I was a child, at least 10. And I was a dumb little kid. I went to school and all that. You can't tell it now, but I was. And this was in 1992. A lot of you weren't born, but imagine it. If Clinton was president, I didn't vote for him. I was 9. So I was already a convicted felon. So I couldn't vote. In 1992, it didn't matter what you were into. By the way, I was an only child, and that's whatever takeaway you take away from the story, it's wrong if it's not, don't have an only child. You should have another one, even if the first one was a mistake, because it's rough. I was an only child, single mom, which is fine. I didn't want to play catch anyway. I'm kidding, my mom was a rock and roll. Anyway, everyone, didn't matter, white, black, whatever, you loved a little artist named Master of Ceremonies Hammer, MC Hammer for short, or just Hammer. You could say Hammer, and most kids would know you're not talking about school. We all loved MC Hammer. Me the most. I loved MC Hammer so much, I tried to dance like him. It was bad. And my mom, she said, I'll get you something, because I never got new clothes. I always got my cousin's old clothes. And my mom was a seamstress, so my cousin was into Jinkos. So my cousins discarded Jinkos. I would get them, and I did not like Jinkos. So my mom would hem Jinkos into normal looking pants, except for the big J embroidered thing. So the kids that were into Jinkos thought I was a loser, because they're like, those are the skinniest Jinkos I've ever seen. And then all the other kids were like, those are Jinkos, you suck. So it's bad both ways. And my mom was like, all right, what can I get you? I'll get you some, what clothes do you want that's not your cousin's? And I was an idiot. I was like, I want hammer pants. And my mom was like, I can make hammer pants. And I was like, holy shit, my mom can make hammer pants? He made gold lame hammer pants. I don't know if you guys are familiar with gold lame, but it's the richest thing a poor kid can imagine. It's shiny gold pants, parachute style. My mom made them custom for me. They don't even fit my cousin. I loved it. I was so psyched. I couldn't wait to go to school with my new hammer pants. My mom was psyched. She did a great job. I even didn't let my mom, I didn't even take the bus, because I was like, Mom, I need you to give me a ride to school, because I don't want to waste the reveal on the bus. And I don't know, I feel like this is important to the story, but it didn't matter growing up. But just, I went to, the school I went to was Rockbridge Elementary, which is still to this day about 90-some% black. So keep that in mind. With this story, I was one of like 4 white kids at school. And I was wearing my little shiny gold hammer pants. And I just totally was convinced that everyone was going to be like, holy shit, look at Andy's pants. This guy rules. That's not what happened. As I walked in, my neighbor, Maurice, was the first to notice the hammer pants. And he's kind of dumb, but he's pretty clever. This is what he did. He said, devastatingly clever. Little asshole. And that's like right then I realized, even though I should have known the whole way, I was like, oh, I'm about to get clowned on for hours. And that is exactly what happened. Everyone just ripped on me for hours and hours. Even the teacher was like, all right, we all saw Andy's pants. Let's get back. She had to get work done. But she was loving it. And I was just like, just trying not to cry. That wasn't working. And I was like, okay, we can't go through the whole day like this. I have another class after this, and it's gonna be worse. So I excused myself to the nurse's office, and because I know the kids that shat their pants, I know they got pants back at the nurse's office, sweatpants, whatever, anything but these gold lame hammer pants. And I went up there and I said, hi, I need pants. And they're like, you need pants? Looks like you got pants. They really got a kick out of those pants. And I was like, no, come on, I know that you guys have pants back there. And they're like, why? And I couldn't bring myself to say, because I didn't shit my pants. But I really just should have. I should have just done it. But that's a lot easier said than done, you know? So I just bartered with them. I was like, please, just give us the pants. And they're like, we have to keep the pants for people that really need pants. And I was like, I really need pants. And they were just like, no, sorry. And I should have just been like, I'm sick. I should go home. But I was an idiot. So I went back to class. And every class, like 6 classes or whatever, just like, oh my God, look at Andy's pants. Like every single class. I was out of tears by the time I had to go to daycare because my mom worked late. Same deal there. Just got ripped on for hours. More puns. Andy, don't hurt him. They were dancing in front of me. I couldn't do the dance also, which really sucks when you have the pants and you can't do the dance. I didn't even mean for that to mind. But anyway, when my mom picked me up, I was like bawling, and I was so mad. I was like, as an adult, I was like, why did you let me leave with these pants? And then my mom started crying, and I realized, like, this is why you shouldn't have an only child, because she didn't know either. She was like, they're cool. And it took, when you're like one of 4 white kids and you do something that dorky at school, like, it takes a while to outlive that. But luckily for me, only 2 weeks later, because after that I was Andy Hammerpants for 4 weeks. And any the other kids that weren't around, they were like they were absent that day. They're like, what do you mean Andy Hammerpants? And then they got to retell the whole thing. So I was Andy Hammerpants for a couple weeks until this kid named Timmy at recess, he was wearing shorts and he shat a turd that slid down his leg into his shoe. And he just stood there frozen crying with shit on his leg. And everyone just pointed and laughed. And then Timmy Turd just outlived Andy Hammerpants. Really bad, I was like, damn, that's rough, but I appreciate it, dog. Thank you. Real quick before I go, Jay maybe remember my favorite Uptown story. I was in Uptown. I went with Clayton English, who told me he would give me $20 if I said the N-word, which I was like, "Are you insane? It's not going to cover the N-word." But I did get him to buy me some wings if I said "you people." And I did. I said, "What's up, you people?" And they loved it. So I didn't get booed off, but it was boo night. Thursday was boo night, which, not a great name for a comedy show. But it started out as like, bring your boo, ladies get in free. And of course that turned into boo the fuck out of the comedian, So I didn't get booed, but I had good advice. Clay told me, he's like, dude, they hate material, so if you do your material, but once you hear that silence before the boo, just get off. Like, you don't need to do the whole 5 minutes. So I did. I got off at like 3.5 and was like, okay, got out before the boo. And then this one guy from out of town, and this is on YouTube, by the way. Please watch it. There's a guy that was visiting from LA, and he was like so fucking full of himself, and just had this huge head, and he was convinced he was just gonna rip it. and the host, I don't remember who's hosting, but they gave him just like, this motherfucker's from Los Angeles. Ooh. Not the best intro. But he did not faze him. He just starts into his hacky shit, and then they're not liking it, and then you can still, a few people are like, boo, boo, boo. And he senses the boo coming. He goes, oh, we're not doing this now. No. And then he goes to the corner of the room and reintroduces himself. With every credit, he's like, he's been in Kevin Hart movies. He's been in. He says every credit he's ever done, and it was like the crowd fucking knew each other when he's like, blah blah blah. And turn around, they all in unison. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And then I thought that I didn't think anything could top that. And then the next guy, who, like Jay said, he spent 10 minutes ripping on that dude. So there was no need for the next guy to even bring it up. But the next guy goes, man, hope y'all don't boo me like that. Boo! and he really could not think. He's like, no, really? And then they just booed him off. And it was amazing. So yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys. Woo!
Great stories, Andy. Give it up for Andy Sanford. Hey, listen, y'all. I'm doing a show at Uptown this Wednesday, and I need about $80. I'll do it for 80. No, I will not. I'm just joking. That's the show. Give it up for yourself. Thank you, Dan. We're opening up in about 8 minutes, so we're going to do a little reset. We're going to hang out and light intermission, and then we're going to start the open mic. All right. It's gonna be like 5 minutes.
Make it easier for you. No credit process. I used to work at a credit card processing company, and they explain all the process. They gotta get paid somehow. Right. I'll give you 5. You give me 6.
Hi. Oh, hey.
Miguel, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Hey, Jason.
There you go.
Any requests?
Thank you.
No? Oh, that's Liz. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Well, how are you?
Good, good.
Yeah, please have a Miller High Life.
Yeah.
What's up? Lauren.
C? Was it just C?
Yeah.
Okay, like I remember the first part, but that was the only part.
Heck yeah. That was the only part.
See? No. See? No.
I thought about that, how, like, in Spanish, to introduce myself would be difficult. Like, what's your name? See, no, but what is your name? Do it. Is there 5?
Yeah, we have a name. Please.
See.
Yeah, everybody has a name.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Then I could be like, como mar. Okay. Como mar any place. C in Spanish is mar, right? Mar.
Oh, my.
Yeah. These are
These are three.
okay.
You get two for five.
Different.
Ah,
They all like 12. So I'll give it